Last year, I got to check out Logitech's newest flagship keyboard, the G910 Orion Spark. I was reasonably impressed at the time, though the keycaps used were pretty questionable. In a way, I liked how they hugged my fingers when gaming, but for gliding across when touch typing, they certainly weren't ideal, and some other users absolutely hated them. The G910 is back now with some minor changes and improvements, and this new refresh is named the G910 Orion Spectrum. Is it the flagship monster that it always should have been? Let's take a closer look and find out. As you can see, the overall design and appearance hasn't changed much. On this model, the wrist rest has a removable cover which makes it nice and easy to clean, and I'd describe it as being medium in size. The G910 logo lights up here and gives a pretty cool effect, so all around it's a good wrist rest setup. The G keys remain, and on the left you'll find 5 of them, plus an additional 4 across the top of the keyboard above your first F keys. In the very top left you'll also find 4 different mode keys that allow you to quickly switch profiles for those macro keys. There's a slight limitation I didn't like with this, but I'll touch on that later when I talk about the software. The underside is simple, with 4 rubber pads to prevent sliding and some standard flip down legs. At the back, the ARX Control Dock remains. This is a slide-out panel that's designed to hold your phone, which I actually quite like. I found it pretty useful to have my phone sitting upright in front of me so I could quickly glance at notifications without picking it up or looking away from the screen too much during gaming. It's called the ARX Control Dock because the idea is for you to run the ARX Control app on your phone and to have it sitting there displaying some somewhat interesting system statistics to you while you game. I can't really imagine gamers using this too much, but it's a nice little extra that some people will like. Up in the top right, the media keys remain, including a handy volume wheel. I think it's great that these are included, and honestly I find it pretty much essential for a good desktop keyboard these days. Another nice touch is the etching found on the arrow keys, G keys and the WASD keys. This allows the awesomely even lighting delivered by the Roma G switches to really shine through. The design of Logitech's proprietary switches means that the backlight is actually positioned right in the middle of the switch and shines straight up in the center, illuminating the entire face of the key really evenly. You'll find on competing products that often the secondary function of the key can sometimes receive no light at all, which is a bit of a bummer, so well done Logitech on this front. The USB cable is wrapped in simple rubber, and I would have liked to see a braided cable here. I get that they perform the same function in the end, but for a flagship keyboard, you like the entire package to feel high quality. A big omission I feel is the lack of USB pass-through. I find it really handy personally, and I think considering the ARX dock, it would have been really nice to be able to sit your phone in the dock and charge it at the same time. Regarding actual typing on the keyboard, I think the Roma G keys are going to be quite divisive. If you haven't tried them yet, I think it would be fair to say that they feel quite a lot like membranes for mechanical switches. There is some tactile feedback, but they're mushier than Cherry MX Browns, and since blue switches are my favourite, they're not really my preference. But it's not like I didn't like typing on them. I could definitely use them and get used to them quickly. Here's a quick type test so you can hear what they sound like. Logitech's gaming software is attractive and powerful, but one thing I didn't like was that there was no onboard memory in the keyboard. This means for your custom lighting and macros to be present, you have to have the Logitech gaming software running. This also means that on startup and shutdown, the keyboard defaults to the RGB Christmas tree, and if you plug it into another computer, you need to start customizing from scratch. So this is another feature I really would have liked to see. Pricing for the G910 Orion Spectrum is a fair bit higher than I'd like to see it. In the USA, it'll run you $180 US, and that's really at the high end of the market. It's also pretty hard to find. That said, I did find it on special at Best Buy for $110 online, but I have no idea how long that special will be around for. In Australia, the new G910 Orion Spectrum is pretty hard to find also. Logitech's website lists it for $250, which in my opinion is way too much to pay for a keyboard that lacks a few features that I consider pretty essential. Overall, it's pretty hard to recommend the G910 Orion Spectrum when there are keyboards like the G-Skill KM780 with richer feature sets and Cherry MX switches for less money. Based on the apparent availability, it would seem like Logitech isn't pushing the G910 too hard, and that's probably for the reasons listed above. I'll keenly look forward to their next flagship installment, as Logitech has been a long-time favourite peripherals maker of mine, and I have confidence that they'll come back strong. What do you guys think of the new G910? Let me know in the comments. I'm your host Matt as always, and I'll see you guys next time. YouTubers like me depend on your support to continue improving the quality and content of our videos. To support the channel directly, consider becoming a patron to also get access to a heap of cool rewards and exclusive giveaways. Also, don't forget you can check prices and buy the products I looked at in this video through the Amazon links in the video description below. Thank you kindly for supporting me and the Hardware Unboxed channel. It means a lot to me and I really do appreciate it, and in return I'll continue to work as hard as I can to keep producing the content you enjoy.